This is my favorite part of all of these events. I've been here for several years now. And the thing that I like the most is that even as board president of Legal Aid, it's not as though I'm so up to speed on all the issues in San Mateo County. That's why I sought out Legal Aid. It's the exact opposite. Legal Aid is an organization, there's not many that do this. It's an organization that taught me so much about what it means to live in San Mateo County and what challenges people face here. And so each of these award ceremonies, where we're learning about what these award recipients have done, what these different organizations do, how they help, what problems they solve, it's such an honor to be able to learn about that. And let me just make a request of each of you, which is when the lunch ends, don't let down. So if you can raise your hand right now, if you are a pro bono volunteer, just keep your hand raised. Okay, and don't put them down, okay? If you're working at a legal aid, at a nonprofit, please raise your hands as well. If you're a prior award recipient or current award recipient, please raise your hands. Okay, so everybody keep them raised. Look around the room. After the lunch is done, look around, seek out somebody, ask them what problems they solve, ask them who they try and help, ask them why they got into this type of work, and I guarantee you that it will be a really good use of your time. Just spend 5 minutes doing that. And these kinds of connections last a really long time. It's the best part of this afternoon, and I think it's an opportunity that a lot of people miss out on by rushing out after. So let's get started. Let's thank our pro bono partners who contributed over 4,500 hours in 2024 to help our neighbors in San Mateo County needing legal assistance. And this is often in collaboration with the staff of Legal Aid. These volunteer attorneys work tirelessly to bring legal justice within the reach of our clients, facing a variety of issues: domestic violence, issues of guardianship, limited conservatorship, and a number of other areas. And with all of our pro bono volunteers, past and present, please stand and accept our heartfelt thanks for sharing your legal expertise with those in need in our community. Please. Some of you didn't stand if you're too modest, because I know what you did. So I have the pleasure of introducing our first award recipient today. This is in honor of one of the first women attorneys in San Mateo County, Dorothy M. Wolfe. The Dorothy M. Wolfe Award is awarded to an attorney who goes above and beyond to support our low-income clients in their fight for justice. This year's recipient began volunteering with Legal Aid in 2005 and began taking pro bono cases to help low-income clients ever since. In fact, this is his second Dorothy M. Wolfe Award, and he was awarded one in 2005 after working with the Filipino Bar Association of Northern California in the Daly City Legal Clinic. Now, with such a strong history of pro bono work, many of us at Legal Aid were at a loss when he moved away and went to Texas. But it was his commitment to pro bono that led him to reach out to Stephanie Belinsky, Legal Aid's pro bono director. And as soon as he discovered there was an opportunity to continue helping remotely, he stepped up. And the volunteer work, specific conservatorship cases, has been life-changing. And I've done a number of conservatorship cases as a pro bono volunteer, and I can tell you it is such, it can be complicated and emotionally taxing. So I really appreciate it. And when you hear about this bill, you'll get a sense of what type of impact this has for local families. So often these cases are life-changing for local families because the cost of the church is out of reach. And recently he helped the brother of a woman with developmental delays get an emergency temporary conservatorship so that she could receive life-changing surgery. And another one of his cases involved helping a monolingual immigrant parents of 3 disabled children obtain conservatorship so that they can basically provide all of their life needs appropriately. So he's a perfect example of the impact that pro bono attorneys can make in our community. So this year, I'm very pleased to announce Cabraswan, as the recipient of the 2025 Dorothy M. Wolfe Award. Please join me in welcoming her to the stage.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. I'm not much for speeches, so this will be pretty short. First of all, thank you to all of you for helping legal aid and the county provide services for the people who need. What's been said earlier about why we do this, and maybe even going back, I guess, because I could point to, I guess, some time as to why I did it then, and I still do it now. And the story I can relate to you is I'm a tech person by background, way back. And I worked in patents, and that was the thing. So you can imagine the legal fiction of your clients, and you're not really helping anyone, not individually. And if that matters to you, what's the avenue that you can do that while still keeping your day job? And so I would implore each and every one of you who have not had an opportunity to do that, to volunteer at any legal aid, and particularly here at San Mateo, to help people. And there's something about legal aid here in San Mateo that's unique amongst the various legal aids. There's one in Santa Clara. Various counties around in the Bay Area had it, and I touched base with a few of them over the years. What's unique about San Mateo County, I keep going back to them over and over, is the support that they provide with their attorneys and lawyers. Stephanie Belinsky, their paralegals, Rudy Romero, all the way back to my first contact, Janet Selden. And it was this support, it's continued support, updating the materials, keeping you up to date on forums, and just saying you're insane when you talk to them about something. This is wrong. That's the main thing. This is wrong. And so that doesn't exist at the other county support groups. And I think that's unique. It's very special. And I want to thank you for allowing me to help. I'm honored to be here today and to continue to help as long as I'm able. Thank you.
We took a bet how many times I probably slipped, but all right. So our next award is given annually to a law firm whose pro bono efforts show a deep commitment to ensuring justice for our low-income neighbors. The attorneys at this law firm have gone above and beyond to serve people in San Mateo County for more than 20 years. Their partnership with legal aid spans across every one of the project areas that you heard about today, whether that's the domestic violence, conservatorships, guardianships, several other legal clinics, and more. And they've been instrumental in the Half Moon Bay U Visa project, which helped survivors of the tragic incident in 2023, the attacks there, find a pathway to more stable jobs with better working conditions. And so, honestly, that to me, that's a project that developed in the moment and is the epitome of what legal aid in collaboration with law firms do. Where there is a need, not an existing project, they will create it and they will find a way to help people. And so what Seth just mentioned about collaborating with legal aid, that's true in my own experience as well, is that even if I'm taking a pro bono case or I'm volunteering or if I'm in a law firm that was referred to cases for legal aid, it's always in collaboration with legal aid. I mean, their people are so knowledgeable about the local community and about what's going on in the courthouse that most of that work is not possible without the support that they give. So the pro bono team at this firm is always working to engage more of their attorneys and work with legal aid. They featured actually the pro bono director, Stephanie Belinsky, as a speaker at their pro bono fair last year. And we're proud to partner with this firm that's so dedicated to supporting our community. So I'm pleased to announce that the recipient of the 2025 Guardian of Justice Award is Morgan Lewis. Is Manita Rawat here? Okay, great. Let me join me in welcoming Manita, the Silicon Valley Pro Bono Chair from Morgan Lewis to the stage.
Thank you so much for the Legal Aid Society of San Mateo County for presenting us with this award. This is an extreme honor for us. As mentioned, in the 20 years since we have opened up our offices in California, we have been a partner with the Legal Aid Society of San Mateo County. During that time, we have done work such as conservatorships for families with disabled children, guardianships, the housing clinic, the advanced healthcare directive, power of attorney clinics, visa projects, and of course domestic violence cases. But more importantly, this year is particularly important for those of us in the private sector, especially for us at Morgan Lewis, to receive this award. I say this because as Professor Brody mentioned, and as many of you guys know in the private sector, we are being attacked. Law firms in this country are being attacked in a very unprecedented manner by the executive branch of our government. And it's dictating not only our practices that we offer in the private sector, but more importantly, what we offer as in terms of pro bono services. We now have an administration that is dictating, telling us what type of pro bono services we can provide as law firms. And I want to say this because I think it's more important for us to do more and volunteer more. And we want to ensure that we provide our commitment and service to the legal services that San Mateo County provides with this organization. They need our help more than ever. And it's very important that we continue to stand up for the rights of the most vulnerable in our society and uphold the Constitution. And I know what's going on in this country won't last, but the pro bono services that we continue to provide will. So thank you again for this honor, and we will always be committed to pro bono in this community.
Good afternoon again. I have the pleasure of joining you again to present the Natalie T. Lanam Award in memory of a tireless advocate. Natalie served as an advisor, donor, and fundraiser to Legal Aid SMC for nearly 2 decades because she believed that our community is stronger when everyone has access to legal services. She and her husband, Judge William Lanam, devoted many hours to legal aid during their lives, and we continue to honor their legacy through the Natalie T. Lanam Award each year. We are pleased to have members of the Lanam family with us here today. Would you please stand for recognition? More than a third of those living in San Mateo County were born in other countries. Legal Aid SMC represents immigrants and people without regard to immigration status throughout all of our practice areas, from housing to healthcare to special education, and of course in our immigration practice. None of you will be surprised to hear that immigrants in our community are frightened. They're staying home because of rumors on social media that ICE is in their neighborhood. They're receiving messages telling them they have to leave the United States within 7 days, even though they've already applied for asylum and they have a hearing coming up in a few months. When they have questions or when they're scared, there's one place they know they can call. and that is Faith in Action Bay Area's Rapid Response Hotline. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the incredible women who answer the phones at the Rapid Response Hotline, and 2 of them are here with us today, are there for our community members in their moments of the most fear, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to turn. That's where they turn, and they get the help they need. They provide comfort, they provide accurate information, and they provide practical resources. So it's not just a warm line. People aren't calling and just getting comfort. They are getting that. They're getting comfort, they're getting love, but they're also getting information, and they're getting resources. I'm just going to give a few examples of what they do every day, that incredible work. When a father calls who's afraid to take his children to work because he's heard ICE is in the area, the hotline will send out a volunteer verifier. They've trained hundreds of them. They'll send somebody out and they'll check. Almost always, it's a false rumor. And then they can relate to folks, it's okay, go about your business, you're safe. When a mother calls and asks if she goes to her ICE check-in tomorrow, is she going to be deported? Should she bring her U.S. citizen children with her? Should she prepare for them all to be on a plane tomorrow? The Rapid Response Hotline is there, and they're going to connect her with an attorney who's going to help her answer those questions and assess her risk. They're also going to find a volunteer who's going to accompany her to that ICE check-in the next day so that she doesn't have to face ICE on her own. When a wife calls, who's just received the call she's been dreading, her husband's been detained by ICE on his way to work, they're there. They're going to connect her with an attorney. She doesn't know where he is. She doesn't know what's going to happen to him. She doesn't know what happens next. She doesn't know how to find him. They're going to connect her with an attorney who can help her answer those questions, who can help figure out where he is, what his options are, what happens next. But it's not only that. They're also going to go and they're going to sit in her living room and they're going to talk with her about how she's going to feed her family, how she's going to pay the rent, how she's going to keep her family together during that time that her husband is detained. He was the only wage earner. This is the kind of work they do day and night, all the time, in our community, right now, when it needs it most. In October 2024, the hotline received 22 calls. In February of 2025, they received over 1,000 calls and responded to every single one. They also trained more than 500 volunteers to verify ICE activity and accompany people to check-ins and to hearings. I have the honor of presenting Magdalena. Do you want to start making your way up here since you're way back there? I have the honor of presenting the Natalie T. Lanam Award to Faith in Action Bay Area's Rapid Response Hotline. Please join me in welcoming Magdalena Lara to the podium. Magdalena, please accept this award in recognition of the Rapid Response Hotline's dedicated and compassionate service to our San Mateo County community.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Magdalena Lara.
Good afternoon. Her name is Magdalena Lara, one of the leaders of Faith in Action.
Para mí es un gran honor representar esta organización de Fe en Acción. Somos una comunidad de líderes, estoy nerviosa porque nunca había recibido un reconocimiento.
She's very nervous right now because she has never been in front of such wonderful people, but it's an honor for her to be representing the leadership of Faith in Action Bay Area.
Orgullosa recibir este reconocimiento por parte de ustedes y en nombre de todos nuestros líderes. Dando las más sinceras gracias por este apoyo a la comunidad a través de la línea de respuesta comunitaria del Condado de San Mateo. Gracias.
It's such an honor for her to be receiving this on behalf of all the leadership and members of the community that are beneficiaries through all the support that Legal Aid and all of you do through the rapid response line in the county of San Mateo. Thank you.
Good afternoon again, and for our final award. The final award was established by Joe Cutchett and his firm, Cutchett, Petrie, and McCarthy, who filled their table here again today, and thank you for your ongoing support. In honor of George Corey and Linda Gemello, two distinguished members of our legal community and treasured friends of legal aid. The firm stipulated that the award was to go to a legal aid attorney to, in Joe Cutchett's words, assist these incredible people that work every day for justice for all. We are pleased to have Justice Gemello and her family here today. Will you please stand for recognition? Thank you to all the Gemello family. It's been such amazing supporters of ours over the years. But today about the award. Shane Sagisi is the most senior staff attorney on the housing team at the Legal Aid Society. He has been with us for about 6.5 years now. He started out as a non-attorney project coordinator while he was still in law school at Golden Gate University. After a year, he had graduated and passed the bar exam and was promoted to staff attorney, where he has served for the past 5.5 years. As an attorney on the housing team, Shane represents low-income tenants in San Mateo County in fighting eviction court cases, often by representing them at settlement conferences and court hearings. He also provides legal advice and advocacy for tenants with eviction notices, habitability issues, rent increases, Tenant Protection Act issues, and landlord harassment. Shane also engages in community outreach by working with community organizations such as Faith in Action and the core service agencies in our county by providing legal trainings on tenants' rights. Shane co-counseled with Shirley Gibson on impact litigation cases against entire mobile home parks that were in violation of the county's mobile home rent control ordinance. He has developed specialized knowledge in government subsidized tenancies and assisting Section 8 tenants facing termination of their rent subsidies. Shane always approaches his work with diligence for the results and compassion for the client's circumstances and needs. He's a valuable member of the Legal Aid housing team, and we're lucky to have him, as are the clients. This year, the Corey Gemello Award goes to Shane Sagisi, staff attorney at Legal Aid Society. Please join me in congratulating Shane.
Thank you, David, for the kind words, and to George Corey and Linda Gemello for sponsoring the award. My goal from day one at Legal Aid has been to help individuals from underprivileged and underrepresented communities gain equal access to the justice system. As I was writing this, I actually thought that sounded really familiar, so I actually looked up my cover letter when I first applied here at Legal Aid, and there it was right there. Over the past 6.5 years, Legal Aid has given me the opportunity to achieve my goal and to level the playing field. If not for Legal Aid, many of our clients would not be able to hire a private attorney and would be unrepresented in their legal issues and be at a huge disadvantage in the justice system. I also wanted to give a big thank you to our Director of Housing, David Carducci, and our former Director of Housing, the late Shirley Gibson. Without them, I would not be the attorney I am today, and I hope to continue to help grow the housing program they have built here at Legal Aid over the years. And lastly, I just want to give one last thank you for everyone that has gathered today to support this great organization and the work we do. Thank you.